So, good morning, students, and we are moving towards our next lecture, that is lecture number 4, important plant pathogens. So, there are different types of plant pathogens which are causing infection to the plants and causing different, which includes in the different structures. So, on that basis, there is some kind of pathogens which are categorized in a special type of category, and on that basis you can know how it works, or what are its categorization and the identity of that particular pathogen which causing the plant diseases, which are the causes of plant diseases is based on the plant pathogenic organism as follows. Number A is parasites. They includes the both biotic and mesobiotic agents. As we have seen in the first lecture, that is the plant diseases caused by biotic, abiotic, and mesobiotic agents. So in the first category, in case of parasites, we are seeing towards the biotic and mesobiotic agents. So in relation with the biotic agents or biotic causes, they are also called as animate causes. They are living organisms or biotic agents which includes prokaryotes, that is true bacteria which causes the citrus canker, rickettsia like bacteria, that is a citrus greening and PS disease of grapes, and third is molecules or wall-less prokaryotes that include the mycoplasma like organism MLOs, which the example of the disease is sesame phyllodes or eggplant little leaf of brinjal, that is eggplant, and second is pyroplasma which causes the corn smut and citrus stubborn disease. What happens in the prokaryotes, as you know, particularly in case of prokaryotes, there is a lacking of well defined nucleus. So basically bacteria, rickettsia, molecules, that is mycoplasma and spiroplasma like organism, that includes in the prokaryotes. So that's why in first case of biotic agent in the parasite classification also, so important plant pathogen is the bacteria. And in if you are writing the examples of that particular plant pathogen, so you have to write the any one disease which is caused by it. So bacteria citrus canker, rickettsia that is citrus greening, and the molecules mycoplasma and spiroplasma, which causing, in case of mycoplasma you can write only one disease, that is sesame phyllodes, and spiroplasma, that is corn smut. So this is about the prokaryotes. In case of eukaryotes, that is eukaryotic organism, so that is protist. So I think Monera, Protista, and fungi, Animalia, you have seen this classification in your 12th standard also. So in case of this, protist is there, fungi is there, and unicellular, cynocytic, or multicellular with little or no differentiation of cells and tissues. That is the particularly characters of the protist, in which protist you can see the three organisms, particularly fungi, protozoa, and algae. So eukaryotes means the organisms, microorganisms or microbes which possess well defined nucleus. So all the nucleotides, nuclear membrane, nucleus, all uh, constituents of that particular cell is having a well-defined nucleus. So it is comes under the eukaryote. So it comes under the protist, and the examples are fungi, and example of the disease is wilt of cotton. In case of protozoa, example is heart rot of coconut, and in case of algae, that is red rust of mango. So these are the three basic eukaryotes comes under the protist group. And B, that is plant parasitic flowering plants, or phenerogamic parasite, that is broom rape of tobacco. What happens, there are some of the plants is also there which comes under eukaryotes. The plant parasitic flowering plants, Cuscuta, Loranthus, Orobanche, so that parasitized on some of the crops or some of the plants, horticultural plants. So that comes under that particular plant parasitic flowering plants. So or phenerogamic parasites. So there are so many examples about this. In case of this, the example is given here in case of tobacco, that is broom rape of tobacco. And the animals which comes under this category, that is protist. So multicellular extensive differentiation of cell and the tissue. The example is nematodes, and the disease categorized under this is root knot nematode. So also nematode is also comes under the eukaryote groups, and that directly Animalia group is there, animals. And in case of the animals, so nematode categorized in that particular category. And the disease which is caused by the nematode, that is root knot nematode, that very destructive nature and causing the damage to the roots. So this is about the parasitic biotic factors, biotic agent, that is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In case of prokaryotes, that is uh, there is lacking of well-defined nucleus, and in case of eukaryotes, you can see the some of the example of the microbe that is having the well-defined nucleus. Now mesobiotic, if you see carefully, in case of parasites, we have seen that biotic is there, biotic agent. Now we are talking about the mesobiotic. What happens in case of the mesobiotic? Okay, so now in case of mesobiotic agent or mesobiotic causes, they includes viruses and viroids. They are infectious agents. They can be crystallized and are considered non-living, but their multiplication in the living plants ensures that they are living. Hence, they are called as mesobiotic agent. Example viruses, example of the disease is yellow mosaic of black gram, and viroids, example of the disease is spindle tuber of potato. What happens? Mesobiotic cause means when, if you see the definition of the virus, is the living and non-living entities. How it is known to be the non-living? When it is outside the host, then it is known as a non-living. When the virus multiplies inside the host, then it is known to be the living. So it is in terms of living and non-living. In between living and non-living, outside the host it is non-living, and inside the host it is living. So that's why it is known to be the mesobiotic agent or mesobiotic cause. So that's why virus and viroids. So virus made up of RNA and protein globules or a protein coat, and viroids is known to be the open virus, that is without a protein coat. Okay, only RNA is there, or nucleic acid is there, RNA and DNA. And virus contains of the nucleic acid and protein coat. Surrounding protein globules are there, so that's why it is known as viruses. And viroids, known as, the definition is the viroids which contains the nucleic acid only without a protein coats. So it's known as a open virus, so but certainly known as a viroid. So that's why this, in case of mesobiotic agents, two components are there, or two microbes are there, viruses and the viroids, which causing the plant diseases. And the last is non-parasitic or abiotic agents or abiotic causes. These are, they are also called as non-infectious or physiological disorder. When no pathogen is found cultured from the transmitted from a disease plant, then the disease said to be caused by a non-living or a environmental factor. Now, we have seen the two components in case of parasitic in nature. Parasitic in nature, that is about the biotic agents. That in biotic agents, we have seen the examples of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And the second parasitic in nature, that is about the mesobiotic cause. That is in case of mesobiotic agent, we have seen the viruses and the viroid. But the second part, non-parasitic, so it includes a abiotic agent. The abiotic agents which causes the adverse effect on the development of the plant, which disturbs the physiological development of the plant, physiological disorders in the plant. So these are some of the agents which causing comes under non-parasitic or abiotic agent or abiotic cause. That are, what are the that factor? Number one, too low or too high temperature. Okay, this is the one factor which are important. If there is a fluctuating in the temperature, so maybe it causes the sun scorching. A temperature is there, so scorching of the plant. Or if too low temperature is there, also causing some kind of adverse effect on the development of the tissue of the leaves, tissue of the plant. So that is comes under too low or too high temperature. Then lack or excess of soil moisture. If the lack of moisture is there, so underdevelopment of the plant may be there, or excess of moisture may be there, so maybe such chances of the rotting of the root. So there is also a factor which required the balanced soil moisture. Then lack or excess of light. So photoperiod is necessary for the development of the plant, chlorophyll and photosynthesis. So lack or excess, extra light is also having the adverse effect on the development of the tissues. And lack of the light, that is sunlight, photoperiod, so it will not develop properly the chloroplast and the photosynthetic activity, so that is also causes the physiological disorder in the plants. Then lack of oxygen. What happens, some kind of uh, oxygen and carbon dioxide process, so it may be causes the adverse effect in the plant. So environmental oxygen is necessary, although the carbon dioxide is also taken by the plant, but the environmental oxygen as well as the soil, when there is porosity or maybe some kind of we can say the oxygen or air between the two soil particles in the soil and near to the root zone, so it may be causes if there is a small kind of or maybe a lack of air or oxygen into the soil particle also, so maybe causes the waterlogging condition or the rotting of the roots also. So lacking of oxygen in the outside means environment and also in the soil maybe causes the adverse effect on the development of the plant. Then is air pollution, toxic gases in the atmosphere. So if you see near to the MIDC area, means industrial area, or near to the aside to the roads, maybe highways uh, of the vehicle, the what are some of the gases released from the vehicles as well as from the chimneys of the industry, so that are to be some of the air pollutants which are to be deposited on the leaf lamina, so it causes the adverse effect on the development of the leaf tissues also, and maybe some toxic gases or toxic material entered inside the leaf tissue to cause the adverse development of the leaf and the whole plant. Next is mineral deficiencies or toxicities. Some of if we are lacking in providing some lack of nutrition to the plants, or maybe toxic elements if we are giving in the form of sprayings, in the form of some nutrition toxic extra more than enough means, or maybe some deficiency is there, or maybe highly we are recommending some chemicals, so it may be cause the adverse effect on the development of the leaf tissues. Or maybe just like 2,4-D is basically prepared for the for retardants of herbs or weeds, it's a herbicide, so maybe in contact with our main plant it causes the toxicity of the development of the plant. So mineral deficiency is also there, or toxicity is also there for the physiological disorder. Then soil acidity or alkalinity, as you know that in soil sciences we required a neutral soil particularly for the development of the plant. If acidic soil is there or too much alkaline soil is there, so maybe adversely affect on the development of the plant. Toxicity of the pesticide, just I have told you that in case of herbicides, same as in the case of pesticides. So many chemicals causes the adverse effect on the development of the plant, development of the tissue, and maybe it causes the physiological disorder. And the last is improper agricultural practices. So there are so many agricultural practices start from the sowing to harvesting. We need to take care from just deep plowing, then sowing, then intercultural operations like uh, cleaning of the field, then harrowing, hoeing. So there are so many practices, rogging of the plants, underdeveloped underdeveloped plants. So if you see in the agronomy, so you have more package of practices in each crop. So improper agricultural practices may leads to the underdevelopment of the plant or physiological disorder to the plant. Maybe it causes the adverse effect on the development of the plant. So it comes, all these factors comes under non-parasitic or abiotic agent, which causes the adverse effect on the development of plant, which comes under the diseases, abiotic diseases or abiotic agents or abiotic causes which causes the diseases. So these are some of the important factors which are we are discussing, because these are three factors majorly. So the first is the parasitic, that is biotic agent and biotic cause. Next is which comes under in case of biotic agents, we have two factors and the examples of the microbes. That is in case of prokaryotes, true bacteria, rickettsia, molecules. Under molecule, that is mycoplasma, spiroplasma. Then in case of eukaryotes, that is protists, fungi, protozoa, and algae. That is well-defined nucleus. Prokaryotes means lacking of well-defined nucleus, and eukaryotes means well-defined nucleus. And also in case of well-defined nucleus eukaryotes, we can see about the plants, phanerogamic plant parasite, that is parasitic flowering plants, broom rape, and in case of animalia, animals, so we have an example of nematodes. In case of mesobiotic agent, we have an example of viruses and viroids. And the last part, that is non parasitic, that is abiotic agent. So there are temperature, soil moisture, light, oxygen, air pollution, mineral deficiencies, soil acidity or alkalinity, toxicity of pesticide, and improper agricultural practices. So these are the important plant pathogen which are causing the infection to the plants. But also I have given you the examples or the definition of each and every uh, organism which causing the infection to the plant or causing the plant diseases. Individually the definition is there, so you can read carefully this definition. In case of this fungi, bacteria, viruses, just I have told you the definition of virus and viroids. Phytoplasma, algae is also responsible for causing the diseases to the plants. In case of mango, it causes the red leaf of mango. So and spiroplasma. And study of phanerogamic plant parasite, that is the different phanerogamic parasites are flowering plants or seed plants which lead a parasitic life on other living plants. They parasitize a great number of economic plants and causes the considerable loss in the yield. So different flowering parasite is given here: Cuscuta, or also known as broom rape. Then it is known as a complete stem parasite, Loranthus, known as a partial stem parasite, Orobanche, complete root parasite, and Striga, partial root parasite. So these are the four phanerogamic parasites or flowering parasites, so that causing the adverse effect on the or parasitism on the some of the plants. So this is about our fourth chapter, that is important plant pathogen. So if any problem arises, you have to read these definitions. Maybe fungi means this is the topic ends here up till the important agricultural practices. But allied with this, if any question arises like define fungi, define bacteria, so that's why I have given you the examples or the definition of each and every organism here: fungi, bacteria, viruses, viroids, phytoplasma, algae, and spiroplasma. Maybe there should not be any typical question like give the examples or give the definition of all microbes. You have to write your answer up till here, means that I have mentioned that up till the this here non-parasitic or abiotic agents. These are the supportive, we can say as a objective type question for you. If physical exam is there of the university, so you can write the definition of fungi, definition of bacteria, definition of virus, viroid. But if any exam in the exam 4-mark question is there regarding important plant pathogen, so your answer may be ends up till here, means up till here non-parasitic abiotic agents. These are the supportive definitions which I have given to you. So this is about our today's topic about the important plant pathogen. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about the lecture number 5, that is general characters of fungi, in relation to which vegetative structure, type of thalli, modification of thallus we are going to study in the next lecture. So okay, see you soon in the next lecture. Good day.